Okay, hello and good morning. Let's take a look here. Yesterday you were taught how to solve and graph linear equations. So draw a line, circle the y, and let's work that one. Okay? To work that, you're going to subtract 10x from both sides. Okay? And then you're going to divide by negative 3. Now you don't want to divide just by 3 because you want to get rid of that negative. So put a negative here. Remember, two negatives make a positive. So you get 10x over 3 minus 5. Here we go. On this one right here, you're going to go down 5 to the dot. Then you got to go up 10, rise, and then to the right 3 because it's a positive. So up 10, so that's 5. Another 5 is going to make 10, and then over 3. So it should look something like this. And you can use a straight edge if you like. Sometimes if you use a straight edge, it looks a lot neater. Okay? And I saw some of you using a straight edge yesterday. And you see how much better that looks? All right, so we talked about all of that, and today you have a worksheet which looks like this. But we also are going to do parabolas today. Now sometimes they give you points and sometimes they don't. So what I want you to do is copy down number 1 right here. And copy down that formula. This right here gives you the vertex. And the vertex is important because that's going to give you the turning point. And we're going to put the vertex in the middle. Now when I say turning point, remember it's a parabola. So it's going to look like a U. And so the vertex would be like right there. Okay? So that's what we got to figure out. So we have to identify the A, B, and C. Remember this formula? AX squared plus BX plus C. Well, here's the A. So A is equal to 3. B is 0. And C is 0. So we plug it in. So we get negative B over 2 times A. Well, 0 divided by 6, 6 goes into 0 0 times. So the vertex is going to be located at 0. Now we've got to plug 0 into the formula. What you need to do is get some more points. So you want to go lower than 0. So you want to go negative 1 and negative 2. Always go lower and then go higher. Just like that. And all you need is a few points. And you're going to plug them in. So here we go. Negative 2 squared is 4. Negative 2 times negative 2. So 4 times 3 is 12. Negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. 0 times 0 is 0, and 0 times 3 is 0. That's your vertex. Now these should be the same if you did them right. Okay? So 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 3 is 3. See how it's the same? 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 3 is 12. So now you graph it. So you go over 2, up 12, over 1, up 3, over 0, up 0. That's your vertex. Over 1, up 3, and then over 2, up 12. So your vertex, or your parabola, looks like that. And it goes up. This is called a minimum. It is a low value. The lowest value. Okay? So that's the way you do these. I'm going to set up one more with you. Copy this one down. Number 5. Okay, so A, B, and C. X equals negative B over 2A. So it's negative B over 2 times A. So that's going to be 8 over negative 2, right? 2 negatives. And you're dividing, so that's going to be a negative 4. So your vertex, and that's the most important point, goes in the middle. So put negative 4. Then you want to go smaller. Smaller is negative 5 and negative 6. Bigger is going towards 0. That would be negative 3 and negative 2. And then you got to plug each one of these in here and graph it. Now you might say, well, how do you do that? That's That's a good question. Well, you got to square it first and then put the negative on there. So that's kind of tricky. All right? So let's just try one. Let's do negative 2. So negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4, but that makes it a negative 4. And I want to see the work off to the side. Negative 8 times negative 2, that's 2 negatives, that's going to be plus 16. 8 times 2. And then minus 13. This and this gives you 17, a negative. And negative 17 plus 16 is a negative 1. So this one should be a negative 1, and this one should be a negative 1. And you got to proceed and work the rest of those. Okay? So if you get stuck, I'll help you. And that takes care of today's work. In college algebra, we're going to be watching a video on matrices, 3 equations, and 3 variables. I'll see you in class.